as well. We have in the house none other than the Managing Director, Unilever East Africa, and that's none other than Luck Ochieng. He's right here. So please put your hands together for him as he comes as well to say a few words. Karibu sana. He told me he loves green. He must have a touch of green.
Good morning. Yeah. First of all, I just want to say thank you, Larry, for the invitation and the opportunity to share the Unilever story with everyone. Good morning, Governor, all guests. Now, sometimes we assume that everybody knows who Unilever is. And I met a few people who had no idea who we are. So Unilever is a fast-moving consumer goods company. It's a global company. We are present in Kenya. Physically, we have a factory here in the industrial area. From this factory, we sell about 50% of what we produce in the Kenyan market, and we export the rest to the rest of East Africa. From the office here, the head office based in Nairobi, we serve the rest of East Africa as well. And we've been here since 1943 from the factory here. We essentially are in 4 business categories. We produce products for home care. So this is your home cleaning, your sunlight, your Omo, laundry products. We are in beauty products. So Dove, Vaseline, for example. We also are in nutrition, food products, Royco brands, Knorr. We import a bit of ice cream, Magnum, Ben & Jerry's as well. We used to be in the tea industry in the past, but that part of our business has been sold off globally, apart from in India. So Kenyan company, part of a global organization, factory here, employing permanent employees, just over 650 at the factory, but that number goes up seasonally depending on demand that is there. Now, for purposes of the session today, what is the interest of Unilever in all this? As I've mentioned, being a fast-moving consumer goods organization, we use a lot of packaging, and plastic is one of those that we then get to use. You want to move to the next slide, please? Okay, so as he does that, let me talk through. So we are a big consumer of plastic that goes into our products, into the packaging mostly. And strategically, Unilever globally, we made some commitments around managing that. Number one, we said that in 2019 actually, we set ourselves certain goals. And those goals included making sure by next year, 2025, we set ourselves a goal of making sure that all our plastics is either reusable, it is recyclable, or it is compostable. And that's something that's driving our agenda globally in every unit that we operate in. I'm actually happy to say that in the Kenyan operation, we are actually ahead of that goal. And we've actually surpassed that goal in many aspects. And I'll be able to share that with you. Now, with in being able to do that, on our own, we are FMCG company. So we identified the only way we'll have the right impact was through driving partnerships. And the partnership that then we worked on was primarily with Mr. Green. I don't know how many of you know Mr. Green, but Mr. Green does recycling of plastic in the market. What challenge really were we trying to address? There's a problem of waste, of which plastic is one of those. Nairobi, for example, is estimated to produce upwards of 2,400 tons of waste every day, of which only about 10% gets recycled. So that creates a problem with the landfills and the environment in general. But also you find that that industry employs quite a number of people. But there's a challenge in that many times the waste pickers get exploited. You want to go back? Back? Yeah, there you go. So they get exploited. Many times they don't get a fair wage, for example. And through our footprint, we felt that there was actually a need for us to be able to influence and get to shape that, and get to shape how that evolves, and if we were able to have any impact. So let me ask a question from the room. Many of you actually do segregation of your waste? About half of the room. Very good. And when you segregate, where do you take your waste? Yeah? Yes. Yes. Very good. So in Rwanda, they have companies, organizations that come and pick it up. Huh? What do they do with it once they pick it up? Yes, you will talk about that. Okay. One of the practices here is that, yes, we have companies that come to pick the waste. Majority of us actually don't segregate. And also when the guys pick it up, where do they take it? They take it to the landfill. But some of them look for the most convenient place to drop them, which tend to be waterways, isn't it? By the roadside and such. There's no landfill. Yeah. The dump sites. A dump site. A dump site. Oh, right arm. Dump site. Huh? Yes. What am I trying to drive at is that because the problem actually starts with the consumption and how the waste is handled, it becomes a problem to process it even outside of that range. And we saw an opportunity for us to be able to participate in solving that problem. So what did we do? So Mr. Green was an idea that started off around 2018, and the collaboration with Unilever was built on from there. In 2018, we started a project to try and educate the public. And the approach we took at that time was to work with schools to get the children to drive this agenda. And this U-Turn project involved us working with the schools, teaching the children to drive the recycling agenda. And so what would they do? They would go home, talk to their parents, they'll collect plastic, bring it back to school, aggregate it, and Mr. Green would come and pick it up from the school, and the school would get compensated for that. That was part of our effort to drive education and awareness on how to handle the plastic waste issue. You saw in the poll earlier, the number one issue was awareness. And awareness is really of how do they deal with that plastic, as it were. So this partnership with Mr. Green has evolved over time. And part of the commitment that we made ourselves was to move to 100% reusable, recyclable, or compostable. So what have we done? In our business at the moment, our Domestos, Vim, and Sunlight Scorer containers are 100% recycled plastic coming from the product from Mr. Green. So that's a start for us. At present, Mr. Green, through the partnership that we've had, is actually driving new technology to clean the plastic that they have for it to be food grade. An opportunity that allows us to increase the contribution, not just the 25% that we mentioned earlier, but our ambition is to have the full 100%. The challenge normally is because in the recycling process, you find that there's odor that's left on the pellets. And the technology that's being deployed right now by Mr. Green will allow us to go over that barrier. So from a small start, initially about 60 tons or metric tons of plastic in a month, Mr. Green right now has the capacity to process 20,000 tons in a year. They are supplying us, but they're also producing products for export. They are supplying the local market, but also capacity for export. Part of the challenge has been where to source the raw material. And the raw material here is what? The raw plastic waste to be able to handle in the factory. But a bigger impact that we are creating, from the word go, we are very intentional that if we are going to become participants in this, then we need to make sure that we are having a real, genuine, positive impact on the community in line with our purpose as Unilever. So working together with them, one of the commitments we made was we must make sure that the people are getting fair wage. In fact, getting above market rates. As we speak, 170 people are employed full-time with Mr. Green, and we have over 2,000. We call them wastepreneurs out there who are actually supplying products into Mr. Green. But it's not enough because not enough is coming back for recycling. Number one, there are also other players in the market. Would you believe it that Mr. Green actually goes to Uganda, collects the plastics, and brings it back here to come and process, to produce the pellets that goes into recycling. Now, so with the successful model that we've seen has worked for us in this market, so what is it that we are doing? We have, as part of our cluster, which we call East and West Africa cluster for Unilever, we are expanding into the rest of the markets. We've just received funding to allow us to do the feasibility studies in the rest of the region. The next move for us really is about setting up in Ethiopia for starters, and extending into Tanzania as well as into Rwanda. There are partnerships that we are having right now with Mr. Green and the Ugandan processors for them to be able to provide continued provision of those raw materials into the Kenyan market. But the bigger opportunity actually is in West Africa, the big Nigerian market, and Ghana as well. At present, Ghana actually does quite a healthy recycling business. What they collect, though, gets exported into other markets. So we are saying as Unilever, what can we do to really make a difference is essentially to use our network, our footprint, to create opportunities for us to address the global challenge around recycling, number one, but also it's actually good for business. So let me give you this scenario. There is trouble right now in the Middle East, which means globally shipping lines is taking longer and more costly. When COVID happened, we had a problem with shipping lines as well. So the source of the pellets has always been imported. We are solving that problem by producing locally, number one. Number two, Forex becomes a challenge at certain points, as we all know, in our part of the world. This helps us to eliminate or manage that, for example. And while creating employment for our people across the full value chain and solving economic challenges. Thank you very much. Up now you know who Unilever is and what it does.